Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of ATK, All Things Chris. If this is your first time here, I am Chris, or you can call me Chrissy, whatever. So let's just go ahead and get into this intro. Let's do it. Alright, so just a disclaimer, I am outside, so if y'all hear little birds, wind, planes, all that, you're gonna have to excuse this, okay? So because I was sitting outside today and I just wanted some peace and tranquility, and what better way to do it with nature. So I'm gonna try my best to make sure that y'all can hear me, and we're gonna go from there. So today, as you may have saw, that the title says story time. So the story time that I am going to talk about today, I have so many in my head, but I'm trying to figure out which one I really want to talk about. I think I'm going to talk about my last trip the trip before last to Orlando. I don't know if you guys have been following me for a while. I posted a video back in, was that last year, July? It's been a year ago. Wow. For my family reunion, and it was a whole situation. So overall, it was a good trip for me. And I say that because anytime I can go somewhere and get rest, it was a good trip. But for the most part. But yeah, so let's just run it back. So when we were getting ready to go, we have been planning on it. I was a part of the decorating committee and everything. So I was a part of a lot from the beginning, right? Well, somewhat, but for the most part, yeah. So as we got close to the time for us to go, stuff just started spiraling out of control. So we went on, we were packing up to go or whatever, and our finances were starting to be a little shaky, I'll say it like that. And I had went to the day of that we were leaving, I went to the bank to go get some money out of the bank or whatever, because we was gonna carry cash with us this time. So we went to the bank, got some money out or whatever, and we came back. I came back, parked the car, right? Parked the car, and I told everybody, like, hey, I'm here. Everybody was riding with us. We're gonna go, go ahead and start putting our stuff in the trunk. And it was like, okay, so everybody started coming outside, putting their stuff in, whatever, and we're loading up the car. So I went to go inside to go get something, and when I came back, the envelope that had all of our money in it, well, at least me and my husband, it was stolen out of the car. I'm gonna say stolen because when I went out there, it was so quick. You know what I'm saying? I went to the bank. I think I made one stop to Starbucks or something, and I came and I didn't get out. I went to the bank, came to the car. Well, I went through the drive-through. Matter of fact, went to the ATM, got the money out, drove through Starbucks, and then I drove home. So between the time of me going to the bank, Starbucks, and home, where did that envelope go? Now, I'm gonna be honest, it was a little sus, because the girl that lived upstairs from us, she had never talked to us before, right? Well, at least me. She had never talked to me before. But this particular day, homegirl was extra chatty, okay? Homegirl say, she said, hey girl, how you doing? Y'all about to go on a trip? And I'm like, anytime you see somebody with suitcases being loaded in the car, like, you already know they going on a trip. Like, what are you talking about? So I said, okay. I'm like, hey, how are you? Because again, I'm shocked that she was talking to me. So she was like, okay, you know, I hope y'all have a good trip, this and that or whatever, just being really, really nice. Now, in her defense, maybe that's just how she is, but again, she had never spoken to me before. My husband, later on, I asked him, he was like, oh, she always be like, oh, what's up, and then that's it. But I'm like, she was real chatty today, and then I had seen her kind of like lingering around the car or whatever. Now, also, play devil's advocate, I shouldn't have left the envelope in the car. Right? I had put it in the car. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just go in the house, grab something real quick, and then come back. Honey, no. Never do that, guys. Disclaimer. Do not leave nothing valuable in your car, because at any moment, as you can tell by the story, it will be gone. So, going forward, came back, and I'm like, everything is loaded. Now, at this point, I didn't notice that the envelope was gone, but it was gone. So we got in the car, we getting ready to drive off, and my husband's like, oh babe, you know what, matter of fact, let's go by the gas station and just load up, you know, fill up on gas or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that way, you know, we can get some snacks or something, and you know, we can get on the road. So I'm like, okay, where's the money? So I'm like, let me get the envelope, looking for the money, gone. So now I'm freaking out, like, where's the money, where's this, where's that? You know, we tearing that car up, pulling all the suitcases out, everybody getting out of the car. We tore the house up. Look, I'm like, maybe I took it in the house, I don't know, but I'm like, we just gonna look. Nowhere to be found. Okay, so I'm like, oh my god, what are we gonna do now? I hadn't already reserved our well, I don't know if you guys ever heard of booking.com, but booking.com will allow you to reserve your hotel, but you can pay at the hotel. So I hadn't reserved it or whatever, and when I reserved it, you know, I was gonna pay when I got there or whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying, like, that's fine. But when the money was gone or whatever, and we had some extra money, but we weren't anticipating on going into that money. So I'm like, okay, you know, all of our vacation money is now gone. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know what I'm saying, like, we gonna just go ahead and figure this thing out. So now I'm like, you know, we can't find it. Now everybody is kind of settling in, like, this trip is a no-go, right? So I'm like, oh my god, come on, y'all, like, I was supposed to be there, because we were leaving, matter of fact, we were leaving a day early, so we can just go up there. And of course, again, I was on the decorating committee, and you know, I was gonna be up there and help. That way we had more time to be up there, one, but two, it just gave us time to rest, because you know, like, when you driving or whatever, and from where we are, we're in Florida, like South Florida, so from where we are, it's about 3-4 hours, you know, drive or whatever, depending on who drive. Okay. So we were about, you know, we weren't that far, but still, you driving that long way, you know, you get up there to the hotel, and all you really want to do is relax. You don't want to just jump into the festivities. So we got up there or whatever. So I said, okay, well, we realized, okay, this trip is a no-go. So I called my cousins, who were also a part of the committee, and I told them, like, hey, y'all, we're not gonna be able to go, because they was calling me like, Christy, where you at, you know, because they hadn't got late by that point, you know what I'm saying, because we was supposed to leave early that morning, but we didn't end up going. So they were like, where you at? I'm like, listen, you know, our money was stolen, we're not gonna be able to go. So they're like, oh my gosh, are you serious? You know, the typical reaction. So I'm like, yeah, man, listen. And we upset, they upset, you know, it was just ridiculous. So now, you know, they were like, okay, well, you know, what y'all gonna do? I'm like, listen, I'm not finna go into my other money for this trip. Like, we just not gonna go. So they was like, okay, you know, dang, you know, next time type situation. So it's okay. So maybe so that whole night, we went, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get up early in the morning, and I'm gonna look again. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna drive back to Starbucks. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I dropped it outside. Maybe I dropped it at the front of the complex. I'm gonna do everything I can to find this money. So I'm praying. I'm like, Lord, please. Sorry, y'all. That little dog down the lake from us will not hush, but it's because it's lightning. So yeah, well, you can hear the rumbles. You can hear them. So So yeah, so now we're like, okay, I get up the next morning, you know, we looking for the, well, I'm looking for the money, everybody's asleep. And my husband, you know, he's such a realist, as he called himself. So he's like, babe, you know what, we just gonna face that, we not going. And I'm like, no, come on, do not give up hope. Oh my gosh. And he's like, babe, for real, just we not gonna stress ourselves, we not gonna go, we'll go next time. So I'm like, I'm pissed. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, listen, because y'all know me, I love going to Orlando, as you can see by my videos. I love going to Orlando, and I ain't finna miss no opportunity to go, right? So I say, I was like, you know what, babe, you know, as time went on, I'm like, you know what, maybe another hour or two. I was like, we not going, we just gonna stay. So I told everybody, like, hey, you know, we not gonna be able to drive, so on and so forth, or whatever. So my right after that, my cousins called me maybe about another 20-30 minutes after me saying that, and you know, she goes, well, let me ask you a question. She was like, if we help y'all come up here, would you still come? And I'm like, say what? Like, huh? You know? And I'm like, and at first I was like, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. You know, we just gonna not go or whatever. We just gonna let that be there. I don't know what that noise is, if y'all can hear that, but it sounds like somebody is like busting something. But anyways, yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I know, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, we're not doing that. I'm just gonna stay home. Not gonna let y'all spend y'all money on that. He was like, no, for real, we want y'all to come, whatever. So, you know, I talked it over with my husband. He was like, honestly, you know, I don't want to do that. And I'm like, I don't either, but you know, they are offering it to us. You know, you let me know whatever you say, what we gonna do. So he was like, you know what, you know, we did all this, we got the time off, let's go ahead and do it. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, we gonna do it, you know? So I was like, I called her back. I said, yeah, you know, we gonna go ahead and, you know, we'll go ahead and come. So it was like, okay, well, we gonna send you the money that you lost. So I'm like, so my little vacation money that was stolen, honey, yes, I'm definitely gonna go, right? So sorry y'all, it was a little ant trying to get my chips. Anyway, yeah, so we go up there, we get on the road. So now I'm arguing with the hotel. Oh no, man, we cancel your first of all, they hadn't said that. When I called her, I was like, hey, you know, this is Mrs. Cannon. I'm calling to just let you guys know, because I had been in communication with them the day before, letting them know the situation, and they were like, okay, keep us posted, we'll work with you, Calling to find out, the girl who I was talking to, she had changed my dates from the day before to the present day that we were actually getting on the road after we got the call. And it was like, oh yeah, you know, you were only scheduled for one day. And I'm like, what? I'm like, no, I just thought so. We went through this whole thing of trying to get this girl to, well, get the hotel to you know, dig up the phone call that I tied up with the lady, and all this foolishness that was going on. So I'm like, you know what? They were like, oh, we canceled, like, you didn't show up or whatever, so we had to cancel your reservation. And I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, first of all, she reduced my stuff, and then she changed the dates, and then you telling me she canceled it altogether? I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, okay. So they was like, oh, well, since you did it through booking.com, it was a third party website, so you're gonna have to call customer service and and I'm like, come on, bro, like, this is ridiculous. Why do I have to go through all this? Like, where's the girl? The girl is not working today. The lady is off. I'm like, oh my god. So the lady, then there's no notes in my account, nothing. So I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, all right, or in the reservation thing or whatever. So I'm like, oh my god, nobody knows what's going on. So I was like, you know what, I just took the customer service number, and I was like, okay, I'll call them. Called the lady. She was like, oh, you have to call them because it's and that and blah blah blah, but we can get you another another hotel from our sister hotels, but it'll only be for 1 day. I'm like, lady, I'm telling you, I'm coming there for at least like 3 to 4 days. Like, I need you to, like, so I was like, you know what, don't even much worry about it. So she was like, oh, you know, if there's anything I could do. I'm like, there's nothing that you can do because you already told me what you could do, and that ain't it. So never mind. Okay. So I went on booking again, and I found another hotel that, you know, could accommodate us or whatever. And you know, I had reserved it. Same thing, pay at the property. So now we get up there, get on the road, we get up there, right? We get up there, and now we're in Orlando. So I'm like, so part of me was like, hey, you know, let's go check in, because we were supposed to check in with the reunion thing, because they had like a little family night or whatever, and everybody check in, they get their t-shirts, all this other type of stuff. So I'm like, okay, what should we do? So this is what I'm asking my husband. I'm like, all right, we get here, what should we do? So he like, oh, well, you know, he just wanted to get into the hotel. Listen, we up here, let's go check in, let that be that. So I'm like, okay, so now I got my cousins calling me, Chrissy, well, they was calling me by my nickname, but I ain't ready to tell y'all that. So Chrissy, where you at? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, listen, I just got into town, you know, we getting settled in. Oh, y'all just come check in, and y'all can go checking out y'all hotel. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I was like, you know what, y'all, let's just go ahead and go over to the hosting hotel and check in, and then we can go and check into our own hotel, because they didn't know that we weren't staying at the hotel that everybody was at. So you just gonna come the way I'm at and be all out? Anyways, so he's so rude. Anyways, so now we get there, and you know, we come in, and they was calling me like, hey, you outside yet? Da 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 da. So they was really anticipating on us coming. So I said, hey, you know, we outside, we coming in. So they was like, okay, we coming. Honey, they had to met us at the door, and now it is thunderstorming, raining in Orlando, right? So I'm like, just pull up under the pavilion thing, you know, the little undercast thing, whatever, and I'm gonna just jump out. Now, mind you, I had Lord Jesus, what I had in my hair? I had something in my hair. I forgot. Was it plaits? I had something. I ain't wanted to get messed up. I just put it like that. So I'm like, oh Lord, you know, I'm getting wet and all this other type of stuff. So now I'm running to the front. We get up there. So they like, oh, where everybody else at? We got to do that. And I'm like, honey, I'm just coming to get our wristbands. So they was like, okay. So they checked us all in, or well, checked me in for them or whatever, and gave me the wristbands. And it was like, okay, we're gonna come back later for the little family night thing. We was playing games and karaoke and stuff like that. So I said, okay, you know, cool. So they was all, Chrissy, whatever. And I'm like, hey, you know, I'm excited to see everybody. So, you know, we did all that, and we left, went to go to the hotel that I thought, right? So I looked at the thing, I GPS what I thought it was, right? Pulled up to the hotel, and I'm like, oh, this is the one we stayed at with such and such and such a couple years ago. So I'm like, oh, I know this hotel, whatever. Pull up, the lady said, oh, we can't find your reservation. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I just went through such. They said, ma'am, I'm sorry, but there's nobody here under, you know, your name. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, there's nothing from booking? Like, it was like, no ma'am, I'm sorry, there's nothing here from, you know, with your name on it or from booking, blah blah blah. So I said, okay. So we left there. So my husband like, babe, what's going on? Like, you know, I thought you put the thing. So I'm like, yeah, I did, but you know, let me just go in here and check. Go on now, check. Tell me why, if we at the wrong hotel, it's a whole nother one that's on our drive. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you serious? So I said, okay, all right, we're gonna get in the car, go. So now everyone's like, oh my God, what's things? I need this bathroom, da da da. So I'm like, oh my God. So we stopped to Walgreens, try to put money on the card. You put it on my other card so we can go ahead and use that for the hotel instead of our bank card. So go to Walgreens, load the card, do all that. Go to the other hotel, get inside. It's still thunderstorming. Get inside. The lady said, oh, okay, yes, oh my gosh, you know, it's always something. Y'all explained to her the whole situation. She was great. That lady was great. The Sonesta on iDrive across from Icon Park, that's the one. It was great. So the lady say yeah, you know, it always happens like that with certain third parties, but it's fine. You guys are here. Let's go ahead and get you checked in. Perfect. Go ahead and say, all right, so the total is blah. So when she said the total, I knew that it wasn't enough money on there because I put the amount that it showed on booking. But I didn't know that the hotel charges a security deposit. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm like, okay. So the lady's like, she was like, oh no, the card, the system will not charge the card if it does not have the exact number on there. So I said, okay, no problem. Left, went across the street to Walgreens. Go put more money on the card. Put more money on the card. We come back. Y'all is not gonna believe this. We were 10 cents short. 10 cents. I'm like, can I give you the 10 cents? She's like, no, it has to be on the card. I was like, you're gonna give me the money back. Like, I don't understand. She's like, ma'am, I'm sorry, but you have to have the exact amount. I'm like, oh my God. Go back. Have to go back to Walgreens. Okay? And this is not, and I know you guys are like, well, why you just ain't put it on somebody else's card or transfer to Cash App or do whatever. This card does not allow you to transfer to Cash App and all these other little, you know, prepaid cards. So I'm like, what the heck? So my husband is like, this is ridiculous. Everybody tired. They just want to da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, y'all, we're just going to go back to the thing. Go back to Walgreens. You can't load no less than $20. Can't load no less than $20 on the card. Because I was like, just put $1 on it. Like, honey, just put $1. They said, oh no, you have to load no less than $20. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, okay, who got $20? Nobody got cash. We didn't put all the cash, you know. Everybody got cards. Nobody's in. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to go find our bank up there in Orlando to take off $20 to go back to Walgreens to load that card and then go. Now I know some of you probably like, girl, I would have just used my bank card and let everything down. I'm like, no, because I didn't want them to be charging me nothing, and you know, it is what it is. So go back to the hotel, pay for the thing. We finally check in. So I said, okay. I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Now everybody tired. I mean, now we really tired. We fed up. People annoyed, hungry, hot, stank, sweaty, whatever you want to. We all of the above. We are all of the above, right? So now, you know, it's later on in the day. Well, later on in the evening, actually, because we got up there pretty late. They calling me, crazy, when y'all coming back? When y'all coming back? They about to get ready to go to the pool and da-da-da. And I'm like, honey, the way I'm feeling, what we just went through, I do not feel like coming back over there. So they're like, please, y'all come back with, you know, more family members is arriving. They want to see y'all and da-da-da-da-da. Now, remember what I said. Nobody knew that we did not get a hotel there. They just thought we were upstairs. So, because I kept saying, I'll be back. I gotta go check in. But they thought we were going back upstairs go upstairs to the hotel where everybody's staying. No, we weren't staying there. So, I'm like, okay. I went out there and I told, you know, not everybody to like, hey guys, because we had one of those hotels where there's like rooms inside of a room, like a suite, right? So, went back, you know, went to the door, you know, like, hey guys, they want to see us. So everybody like, oh my God. So I'm like, you know what, we here for the family, let's just go ahead and go, you know what I'm saying, and then, you know, we'll rest later on. So that's what we did. We got dressed, and everybody took a shower. Well, we hadn't took a shower and was resting anyway, so we just got dressed, and then we headed back across town to that hotel where everybody was at. Got there, tell me why all the food is gone. So I'm like, oh my God, it wasn't nothing but boiled peanuts and some straggly little cold pizza. And I'm like, Father God, what now? We all hungry and tired still. And I'm like, Lord Hammers, and I know my husband like, honey, you got to get him some food. He finna get upset, okay? So I'm like, all right. So now, you know, we hanging out, chilling, whatever. I might insert a little clip here of, you know, me and my sisters, we was dancing and having fun and stuff like that. So now, it's time to go. I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. So we left there. I'm like, listen, I am hungry. Where's we going? So, you know, we like, oh, we going this place, we going that place, we going this place, we going that place. So we end up going out to eat, getting something to eat or whatever. And then we went back to the hotel. We pretty much rested for the rest of the night. Then the next day, we got up, ate breakfast, got ready to go to the actual main event. You know, everybody was gonna be there or whatever, the actual family reunion event. Tell me why nobody can find the wristbands. Where are the wristbands? Cannot find the wristbands. I'm like, oh my God, where are the wristbands? So now we tearing the car up again. Now it wasn't my fault because I put the wristbands in our little bag because they had gave us drawstring bags with like the family logo and all this other type of stuff on there. And I was like, hey guys, everybody's stuff is in here. And it was like, okay, no problem. And I think somebody took it upstairs and it was still upstairs in the room. So now somebody got to go upstairs to the room. They don't have the key to get in. Come back downstairs on the elevator, come get the key, go back upstairs, get the bag. Can't find the bag. Look for the bag, found the bag in somebody else's suitcase, brung it downstairs. Now we are super late, and when we turned on the GPS to find where the place was an hour and 30 minutes from where we were. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Now the whole day started, I think, around 1 o'clock. We didn't get there until about 3:30 or 2:30 or something like that. I think it was 3:30. I was like, you listen, honey, I was so done. So now, okay, I'm gonna just let y'all know how our family dynamic worked. On my mom's side of the family, before, I never realized it until now. Before my mom, you know, when she was alive, she was always kind of like the forefront person as far as like, you know, this person, you know, everybody know this is Keisha's kids or Keisha's brother or this and that. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, my uncles and stuff, they had their own name, but especially like her kids and stuff like that, it was like, those are her kids. So when we pull up, people that we have not seen in years, they know about my mom's passing, but they don't know how to interact with us. So everybody's either, a couple things, they're either acting stank, distant, awkward, insensitive. I don't know where I ended off at because the thing has stopped, but they're either insensitive, acting stank, rude, whatever else I said. And then the last one's like they're just super like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about your mom and blah 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 blah, right? So now I'm like, okay, how are we supposed to act? You know what I'm saying? And the family members that we do know of, I think, honestly, I think they didn't know how to approach us because they didn't know what to say, you know, to us. So it's like, let's just avoid them altogether. And then my cousins that were on the decorating committee, I feel like they were upset that I wasn't there, but they didn't know the backstory. It was just the other cousins that were like over the whole thing that I was talking to about the situation. So when I got there, it's like, oh, here she come, just not pulling up. That's my assumption. I don't know. In their defense, I don't know, but they were showing up acting stank when I got there, because I was like, hey y'all, so and so and so, and it was like, hey, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, all right, whatever then. You know what I'm saying? Because you know me, I ain't got time for that. Honey, you gonna act stank, I ain't got time for that. But, you know, I was genuinely happy to see them. So, one of my cousins, she came, she was like, come on, y'all, we gotta be a family. Y'all go and mingle with each other. Go do this and that or whatever. And I'm like, nobody really wants to talk to us, but okay. So I'm like, okay, let me go over and extend the hand. Go over and, hey, this and that or whatever. And these were usually like the older people. It was like, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. The usual, whatever. I ain't seen you since the grasshopper and blah, blah, blah. Knee-high to a grasshopper and all this other whatever. And then you got the other family members that's like, hey girl, how you doing? Yeah, what you said? Oh, okay, all right, yeah girl, I'm gonna talk to you later. Okay. And then that's it. So with all that being said, we were kind of to ourselves. So I'm like, I'm not finna force nobody to talk to us. I'm not finna do all that. If people want to be how they want to be, let that be that. Like, that's what I was on. Okay. So then towards like the end of the day, they had I don't know if y'all saw it, but they had a game called Human Hungry Hippo, and here's like a little clip of it or whatever of what they were doing. So you know, they was having fun and this and that, and my husband and my brother and my sister, they all went out there and they played the game, and it was a nice time for that portion of it. Towards the end, here's my thing. I don't like big events when it's time to serve the food. I don't like that portion. And the reason why I say that is because people start getting real weird when it comes down to serving. It's like everybody's competing or fighting over who gonna get what food and how much, and if they consider you an adult. You know what I'm saying? You know, black families, y'all know what we're talking about. It's that no, cause that's such and such daughter, and get her more this and more chicken and that. Girl, I don't got time for that. I go buy my own food. So that's the vibes that I was getting when I was there. So I was like, no, I'm finna go ahead and go. So we finna leave. And then it was starting to get emotional for me too, because I was talking to some of my cousins, and you know, he was like, you know, hey, you know, don't feel no type of way, but you know, it's, you know, some people don't know what to say to y'all, because you know, they either wasn't there for you when Keisha died or whatever. And a lot of it was based around my mom. And I'm like, okay, guys, I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's awkward. And I give people grace when they don't know what to say. But at the same time, it's like, yo, I'm me. You know what I'm saying? And I know that relationship is not there, but it's like, talk to me. Tell me, you know, like, yeah, hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? Not just, you know what I'm saying? So the next time around, so we end up leaving. We end up leaving there. And when we left there, as soon as I got in the car, I was already really, really emotional, and I was tired and all that or whatever. So tension was high in the car or whatever, because some of the people that rode with us was like, I don't want to leave. And then some of them was feeling what I was feeling. So I was like, okay, let's go. So got in the car. It starts to like pour down rain, like it's a freaking hurricane where we were. I'm like, oh no, it's time to go. Me and my husband end up, you know, kind of having like a little disagreement, because he was like, I'm never doing this again. As far as like, he was annoyed with all the things that were happening to us, like, you know, money getting stolen and this and that, and it just became too much for him. He's like, I don't like this. Like, he liked to be prepared when we go out of town. And he was like, you know, we should just stay home and da da da. And then that was his first time really experiencing the family as a whole. So, and he's never experienced anything like that with my side of the family, at least my mom's side. We've only dealt with a certain amount. But when he saw when he saw everything that was happening and how the dynamic between some of the family members, you know, I think it was just a little bit too much. And then the emotions was high because of what we were feeling too. So he was just upset about that. So we ended up leaving. We left there. We went to Icon Park. I was like, you know, let's just go do something fun or whatever. So we went to Icon Park, went to, you know, go sightsee and do some activities. And then we went to go eat or whatever, because we didn't eat there. So we left there, went to Icon Park, did all of that. And then we, you know, eventually we went to, I think we went to Ripley's, believe it or not. and you know, just kind of hung out. And then we went back to the hotel. They got into the pool that night and the jacuzzi, and I just kind of stayed upstairs and was just kind of processing throughout the day and just relaxing, because it was a lot going on and I was tired. And you know, that was that. So that night, again, remember I told you my cousins, they didn't know that we did not stay at the hotel where everybody was at. So they call us like, hey, where y'all at? Da 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 da. You know, everybody downstairs at the pool, y'all come on down here, like mingle with everybody. And I'm like, we're not there. And they're like, what you mean? I'm like, we are not staying at that hotel. Are you serious? I thought y'all, that's why we were saying that. And I'm like, no, we saying it. And it was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, da da da. And I'm like, no, it's okay. Like, you know, and then it started to become a little bit more relaxed, because more people started to find out. They were thinking that we didn't want to be bothered. And I'm like, no, we couldn't afford, well, it's not that we couldn't afford it. We wanted a space. Okay. We wanted a space where everybody could be, like, it was more cost efficient. I was like, because it's not that we couldn't afford it. It's just, it was more cost efficient for us to get one room that accommodated everybody, right? So that was kind of it. Then the next day, I think we went to breakfast, and then, you know, we got on the road and we left. But you know, it just showed me a lot about, you know, family and how families maneuver together, and, you know, just expectations and stuff like that. Now, the moral of this story is, of course, to let y'all in on the foolishness that be going on in my life sometimes. But it's a lot of things. I mean, take what you can get from the story. But the story was basically to just alert you and show you that I'm human. One, you know what I'm saying? Majority of the time when I do go out of town, it is usually a fiasco for the most part. And even whether I know it before, I know it after, or during, it's usually some foolishness that go down or whatever. But I take it all in love, and I take it all in laughter, because I know that, you know, the enemy is after my joy when it comes down to me living my life. So what I do is I look at the bright side, and I take what I can get within the trip, and I take my butt home. So, but as far as dealing with family and being aware, that is a lesson that I learned, being more aware. Don't leave my stuff in my car, making sure that, you know, I don't just trust anybody or whatever. Take care of my stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you know, give people grace. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's going on in somebody's head. You know what I'm saying? And even with my family, or whatever, family, you're not gonna always have the best relationship with them, but you try your best. You love, like I always say to you guys, love on purpose, be authentic, and live out loud. But the most important thing is love on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Figure out how you can deal with your family and friends and stuff like that, but you deal with them within boundaries of what you can handle. Whatever your capacity is, that's what you deal with them on. Once your capacity has filled for that family member or that friend or whatever, that's when you know it's time for you to leave, or it's time for you to distance yourself or take a break. You know what I'm saying? And it's no love lost. It's just like, you know what? Not going to be able to deal with this. And it does not make you too sensitive. It does not make you insensitive. It does not make you emotional. No, it's just you are concerned about your health, your peace, and your joy. And for you to do that, you have to create boundaries to be able to deal with people as a whole. So with that being said, that's the moral of the story. Listen, foolishness gonna come, life gonna happen, stuff gonna go in an uproar, and stuff gonna happen. But it all depends on how you respond to what's happening. So guys, leave in a comment down below. I want to hear y'all crazy stories with family and traveling and all that. Drop those in the comment down below, so I can hear about it. I want to engage with you. As always, please make sure that you like this video, you subscribe, and you share it. Turn on your post notifications too, so you can see when I upload. I've been being consistent, y'all. So this video today is Tuesday, so this will be dropping tomorrow, which is Wednesday. So happy Wednesday. So I'm sorry, y'all. My dogs, they need to shut it. But anyways, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video all the way to the end. If you did, I love y'all. Thank y'all for putting up with me and this outside nature surroundings, all the birds and chirping and all this other foolishness. My darn dogs losing their minds, don't know who when to shit up. Okay, so but yeah, I love y'all so much. I love y'all so much. Oh, also, before I go, last thing before I go, I want to know what type of videos that y'all want to see. Drop me some Q&As. Some questions about, so I can do a Q&A. And I want to hear, you know, it could be juicy questions, it could be all that. And make sure to follow me on my Instagram and TikTok, because I'm pretty active on there. So, but yeah, again, thank y'all so much. Love y'all. Share this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.